All right, Jason, let's hear from down under.
April from Queensland in Australia. Hey guys. Sorry, that was an Australian male impression, says April. So let me do a female Australian impression.
Yeah, female, yeah.
Hey guys.
Nice.
Can we joke? Can we joke with our Australian
That's
fans?
good.
Can we joke?
April's, yeah.
Hey guys, hey guys, I found your podcast late last year and have been listening to every episode since. I was wondering, when you are manually managing your bidding and you are considering changing your bid, do you, along with looking at the conversion data, take into account the estimated first page, top of page, and absolute top of page? And do you ever use raise bids to top of page as a bulk manual bid change for your keyword? So raise bids to the top of the page. And then when you're doing your manual bids, the question is from April.
Bulk.
Yeah, do you use the bulk? But then also, how much do you take into account the estimated first page, estimated top page, and absolute top? I'd love to hear your thoughts, Chris. I'm kind of passionate about this one.
Yeah. Okay. So April, I can tell you, I'll tell you me. You asked if I do. I'm going to answer in a personal. This does not mean this is the right for everyone, but personally, me, I don't use estimated and absolute top estimated at all. Here's
why, Chris. Why would I estimate when I'm getting data and I can do it myself? I don't need your estimations. I'm in the game. That's
exactly right. Yeah.
We're talking about practice, man.
Because like I've said before, the very first day, the very first week is 100% guess. And if you're running past that first week, you're in the first month, first year, you've gone, past those first couple of guessing times, then you should have data, and that estimated stuff means nothing to you. So I don't use it. I never even add the column, and it doesn't matter to me.
I forgot it existed.
I do too. And until someone mentions it, I totally forget that it's even there. And as far as deciding what bids, it's always a phase. At the beginning is always just a rough bid. What's most important and what's most precise. My most precise keywords, my most important keywords, if that's the same, then they are absolute highest bids. That's X. And then everything down from there, based on being less valuable to the client and less precise, moves down the scale of bidding for me. Now, one last thing. You mentioned bulk manual change. Here's the thing. I don't use bulk manual change at the beginning of a Google Ads system, because if you go back and listen to Lazy Man Build podcast, where we talk about building a Google campaign the easiest and the fastest way.
Good episode.
It's a great episode. We talk about bidding at the ad group level to begin with. Okay. And then once you decide that you want to make adjustments, you do that on an individual keyword basis. But an entire ad group should largely be about the same when you begin. And then once you start changing things, I do that on an individual keyword, or I change it at the ad group level again. I bump the whole ad group up. So that's my thoughts there. But keep in mind, all of this has absolutely nothing to do with the success of your campaign. The process that you use for bidding will not mean that it passes or fails, right? It's not about one particular process. The point is, pull the winners to the top and slow down the losers. That's what the whole thing is about. How you do that is entirely up to you.
Yeah, we have a disagreement, Chris. I think you're going too far when you talk. So here's the deal. It's very easy for us to sit up here and say, oh, those columns don't matter. The estimations don't matter. I'm running it myself, blah, 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 because we have a ton of experience and we know how to quickly get in there, find out what the bid should be, and go for it. But I think the reason we see this question is because people get in there and they don't have that experience, and they're like, what did they say? Like, how can I just tell? So it is really helpful on paper to look at those columns. So what I think is wrong, Chris, is if you're trying to figure out what the bid level should be, I don't think you need to go into this mode about, oh, the really good choice keywords, bid more on them. The not so good ones, bid less on them. I disagree with that. When you're in the process of, specifically when you're trying to find the right level to bid at, set your bids at $1. Every single keyword. Go to the preview tool. Are you showing up after a few minutes? No, you're not showing up. Bid them at $5. Are you showing up? $10. Are you showing up? $20. Look in the keyword planner. Go ahead, look at your estimated things. But I just think there's a really quick way to figure it out. You look at the keyword planner, you see what it says. You look at these estimations, you take them with kind of a grain of salt, because I found them to be off sometimes. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're off. And just gradually raise your bids, like all within a 15-minute period, and see where you show up. And then once you know your decent level, what it takes to show up, then you can do that little choice thing about the top keywords or the best keywords, bid more on them. But to actually know like what level to find, I would just start at $1, check the preview tool, keep going up until you find that level where you're showing up. But you know what? It's not so easy, and that's why the pros exist, because there's a little thing called ramp up time. No one talks about it except me. But you know what? If no one wants to put documentation about there, no one wants to put articles about there, keep screwing yourselves, because it's something I know, and I know it's real. And then there's this whole thing about there's no ad rank at the beginning because you don't have quality score, so it takes more to bid than normal. I don't know. It's a tough question, but that's how I figure out the bidding level. Yeah. That's how I do it. I just play around with the bids, and I keep my daily budget low. I protect myself. Don't overspend while you're figuring things out. Just figuring them out with the bids, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The toughest time is the beginning. I guess in the end, the answer, April, is there is no correct answer.
Not when you're doing a podcast with you, because the beginning was the easiest time, because we gelled like butter. You did what I said. Everyone was positive about everything. But now we're a few years in, there's friction, there's sides being drawn, there's people dug in thinking they're the reason the show's successful. The other person thinks they're the reason the show's successful. It really does get more difficult as time goes on when there's this much success. But hey, we're like a rock band. We're going to keep it going. We don't have to talk off air. It's all about business. No. Coming here, a lot of people rely on us, and we're going to get it done for the sake of the show. Isn't that right, Chris?
Yeah. Secretly hate each other, but publicly
not so
monetize
secret
each
anymore.
other.
How about that?